The S voice in the Galaxy Note 2 lets you write instructions and execute them. So you could pretty much ask it to set up an alarm for you at 10 PM on Saturday and it would be done. You can even ask the S voice to play a particular song. So just write it down, it will search for the song in the playlist and play it. And someday you're getting late and you want to let your boss know that you're getting late. So just message him. It's as simple as that. It actually works and it's just amazing. Very intuitive. AirView is probably the most talked about feature in the Galaxy Note 2. It is very magical and very convenient. Just hover your S Pen over albums or thumbnails and the Galaxy Note 2 will pop up a preview. It even works in video players, so just run them over thumbnails of your video and it would actually play the thumbnail or the video of the thumbnail. You can go inside a video and even hover above the timeline and it actually shows you what's there ahead of a video without actually going forward or backward. Very convenient. It also works in messaging, so you can just point over the content of your message and it will pop up the exact message. Within the email, you can also view your subject line and the content of your email without actually opening it. You can also hover over the bottom of the page or at the top of the page to scroll. Thanks to the large screen of the Galaxy Note 2, you can actually preview your messages on one side and have a list of your messages on the other side. Works for messaging and email. Samsung has greatly improved the S Note in the Galaxy Note 2. Now when you pull out the S Pen, a particular menu, which is only S Pen specific, comes in front. A very interesting feature that Samsung has added is the ability to store presets, a combination of all your brushes, stroke width and the color, and you can have as many of them as you want. So I just added maybe 2 or 3 colors here and stored them right on the right panel. Now using the button on the S Pen, I can simply tap it and change or toggle between various brush tips depending on how I stored them or what my presets were. It even has a unique shape match function which also came in the Galaxy Note 800. With the S Note, you can also import images, resize them and paste them anywhere. What's interesting again is that they've introduced a color picker, so you can pretty much select any color in any picture and match it. So this is quite good. Samsung has also introduced a unique page transition or page animation in their S Note, which makes it look really realistic and gives a very real look and feel of how you would actually flip a paper. You could also tap on the bottom of the taskbar and it will actually show you all the pages that you have in a particular notebook and select them whenever you want to. So it allows for really easy switching to various pages. Another interesting feature that has been introduced in the Note 2 is Idea Sketch. There are around 800 pre-drawn words. So you could write baby or a cycle or a bike or a car and it would actually show up some results and you can just select it and an image would appear corresponding to that word. What's more is that you can actually add your own images and store them. So I could draw a really bad car, just as an example, with wheels and a window and an exhaust pipe maybe, and I just have to add it. Now it has been added in the user section, so the next time I want that to come up, I just go to Idea Sketch and I type or I write user and whatever I have added would show up. You can even add colors to it and store it again, so you know it's really interesting and saves a lot of time. quick command is the most effective way to launch applications. So say I want a Google search and I just have to write question mark and my search keyword, and it would automatically search the Google with that particular keyword. Even if I want to make a call, I just have to say hash and write the name of the person. The person has to exist in my phone book, obviously. It will look up the number and start calling automatically. It's very efficient. But how do you do this? So if you go into settings, and you would see that there are some pre-designed or pre-customized symbols that imply something. You could even make your own. So for example, I want to create a command that would enable data network for me. So I select that and I say done, and I give it a particular keyword or letters. So say DO, which is data on, and that's it. It recognizes DO and saves it, and I can say it data. Now the next time I want to turn data on, I just have to say DO, and it would ask me if I would want to enable data. It's as simple as that. So, in a scenario where there are a plethora of applications, this could be really handy. The S Pen comes with a button on the side which, if pressed, can do a lot of things for you. So for example, you could use the S Pen button, press it, and then make an up arrow, that means menu. Make a back arrow, that means return. You could even use it to take a screenshot. So just press the button and tap and hold onto the screen. It takes a screenshot. There you go. You could also use it to double tap and open an S Note quickly. Last but not the least, you could also use it to copy any text. So you could just tap and hold the word and drag the markers. You could also use it to open quick command that has already been discussed in this video. Galaxy Note 2 allows for true multitasking. To enable multitasking, just tap and hold the return key and you would have a number of applications on the left hand side. So this panel is customizable. For example, you're browsing on the net or on Google Chrome and you want to start looking at friends on Facebook. So just drag and drop Facebook and there you go. You have two windows that are dynamically operating on the same screen. And you can switch between these two screens simultaneously. So you could be browsing the internet while you're looking for friends, or you're looking for status updates of your friends. It's as good as that. You could also scroll. So it's multi-screen and multi-scroll, depending on which screen you're on. Again, you just have to use Air View or just hover your S Pen over the screen. You could also multitask by pressing the home or the home key for a while, and you could just browse through all the applications that are on. Try covering the phone with your hand on a stable surface. You could get stats on the time and date, missed calls, SMSs, and battery stats. To take a screenshot, just swipe your palm over the screen and a screenshot is taken. And how you use it is totally up to you. What I usually do is go into S Note. I'll probably paste my screenshot there and write a nice message along with it, and I could send it to whoever I want, export it, or share it via email. Another really interesting thing is one-handed operation. Samsung knew that they've made a very big phone and it could be difficult to use via just one hand. So they improved the UI and added a tweak which allows you to shift the interface left or right to enable you to use the keyboard or a dial pad or the calculator pad slightly easy. Another interesting feature is Tag Buddy. So whenever you take a picture, you can actually add location, the name of the person, date, and even the weather. You could then look up your photographs based on location, person, time, or even groups if you've created any.